Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Last time around we attacked Venice. It was a bloody battle, but we ended up carrying it and winning, sending the Italians off. So we currently actually hold Venice. The plan was to give it up and give it to the Austrians in exchange for the Austrians joining the war against the Italians, taking some heat off us. That has not happened, but also something that maybe I could have actually predicted. The AI, once losing the territory, weren't actually aggressively going to recapture it. Instead, they've kind of just refocused their armies around defending and kind of shuffled them around. So the army that I was worried gonna march straight onto me has instead actually marched south. And is not currently marching to attack and retake Venice. Rome actually kind of lies pretty open. If it weren't for this army standing in our way. Moving my aircraft around just to spot as much as... Can I go ahead and select you, please? Let's go ahead and see. Yep. We got another stack down there. And that's... it. So we've got stacks defending the towns, and then we've got additional stacks on their way marching, it seems, to defend the capital more so than going on the attack. It could be that they I mean, they could have so easily, with the amount of men. I guess maybe this one doesn't carry heavy artillery, and that's the problem. That's why he's not, or he's reluctant to attack. But even with that, after last time, I only had 1,000 men left to defend the city. Now we were able to get a lot of reserve units out, 5 reserve units out within one turn. Turns out I didn't need them because they're not attacking. So that's what's going on in Italy right now. We've got Hindenburg arriving all the way up to Nice. And then we've got the Duke of Württemberg coming in soon after. And they are going to be pushing in to dislodge the Italians from this area. At the same time, up here, we're chasing the British force around. So Karl Burlov is chasing them. He doesn't have a strong force as the British, but the British carries a lot of cavalry, which is usually just cannon fodder. So I imagine the British are just going to try and siege this place, and that's going to give time for Karl to actually arrive and kick them out. At the same time, we've got the Crown Prince Prussia finally making his way all the way from down here, where he was stationed as... the reconstruction of the armies started. He's finally made it to Paris, and we'll see about actually constructing an army for him. With that, what we're going to do today is we're going to go to the east. So we're going to attack right here. Currently, though, what I should do is I actually should take my aircrafts in the area and take a look at what the Russians actually have in the area. So they've got some reinforcing stacks coming in, stragglers, half stack coming in. Didn't I have? Yes, I have one up here as well. Okay, so this area is still completely open as far as I can see, which is great because I have 2 armies here. So we've got Otto von Berlov and we've got Mackensen ready to march forward. Of course, I'm sending up cavalry to replace this one, but we're also going to replace the machine gun with a flamethrower unit just for the funsies. Although I do think I'm actually going to detach the cavalry, and that what they're going to do is they're going to kick out the Russian Navy here. And we're going to attack it with our Navy. And we're going to sink it, hopefully. So, yes, to break through, we need to... this army needs to be destroyed, and this army needs to be destroyed. Once they're destroyed, the rail kind of defense Russians have are way back here, so I'll be able to kind of rampage through, get both Latvia and Estonia, and hopefully Mackensen will just be able to waltz right in and take Lithuania. Now, I don't remember exactly what nations you guys wanted me to release, as I recall. Well, it was Ukraine. I think we decided on Ukraine, some part of it. There's, I believe, once the Ukrainians rise, they get these 3 territories. I think. I think you can release the Lithuanians, actually. You can release the Latvians, you can release the Estonians. I'm thinking we're gonna release those 2 because... just because I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I mean they did declare their independence around this time, right? Or after the First World War, they were able to, and there was a lot of German interference. I would like some kind of center to be able to recruit troops once we start to push on Petrograd. The thing is, what we could do if I create these 2 as their own states, since we can keep these as buffers, and then we can have the army then shipped by ship over and release Finland. There's a lot of ideas here. There's a lot of ideas. You can also release the Belarusians, the Lithuanians, and I'm sure there's plenty more. Because one thing they've done is they've added so many of these minor sort of emerging factions that can emerge if regions go ahead and revolt and so on. But what we're gonna do today is Mackensen need to attack. It doesn't look like he's gonna reach Wrangel. Oh, he did actually. That's good. We definitely have the advantage here. Most of his army is consistent of cavalry. He's a 1-star general as well, while Mackensen is, I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. I don't think you can almost get any more. I think there's, if you look here, there's 6 stars on either side with 1 in the center. I think there might be 1 to crown it all. And that's how many stars, like the maximum amount of stars, but who knows? Seems like a pretty easy fight. If it goes quick enough, we might end turn and see if we can destroy this one as well, which would open up for me going in and taking the rest here. With that said, though, it's time to start this battle and take victory. We have fought on this battlefield before, haven't we? Or it's exactly the same battlefield as the first one we saw with Mackensen. And we're going to do a similar strategy to that one. On the left, I'm going to be holding, so I've got the Jaegers behind barbed wire, and an additional infantry unit just to hold off, because the enemy army is very cavalry heavy. Then we've got these guys placing the bombs in the narrow pass here in between the impassable terrains on either side, so if the enemy advances through, they'll go onto the bombs. Most of the infantry lined up in 2 lines, ready to advance on the enemy cavalry on the right. With that, let's go ahead and start, and we should start by focusing on the enemy artillery. Okay, we got a little bit of fire, just hoping to drag the enemy towards the bomb. But with that, we're gonna start to advance. Gonna have the elite infantry come out just behind here. Heavy fire on my sappers as they run for cover. Heavy artillery bombardment landing among the enemy's cannons. And Kinda looks like all the infantry is going this way, so they're gonna go onto the bombs. Most likely destroying all the enemy's infantry. And then, hopefully here, we should be able to destroy all that cavalry. Counter bombardment by the enemy's artillery. Not super effective as of yet. All their infantry is now pulling back, which has me very disappointed. I was hoping that all of them would be marching on to my bombs. They're actually going straight into this battery inferno. By the looks of it, I should actually take these cannons and fire over here, and then concentrate some of the heavy gun. What are they doing? Wait. Wait, what are they doing? They're just focusing everything in the center? It's an odd bug that I haven't come across before. I would have liked them to march onto my bombs. But looks like that is not gonna happen. We're gonna push forward then. Okay, so they're basically giving me the victory here. Okay, let's smash them. Artillery. Fire everything you have on that. Absolute catastrophe for the Russians. Oh, now they are actually spreading the troops out. We got the Russian militia marching in the middle of all of it. Kind of odd thing there that they all kind of centered just around there before moving away. Now the cavalry move to the flank, while all my infantry is moving forward. We got the Jaegers and so on moving through the woods. And you know what? Let's hit them before they know what's going on. Keep up the momentum. Move forward. We'll be done here in no time. And Mackensen might be able to swiftly move in to Lithuania and take that under control. Destruction. One cannon left there. I mean, it's really this one that needs to be silenced now. And then these two should focus on that one. Alright, so we got a little bit of fire going through here. Most of this is actually soaked up by the woods. But I wanted to stop early just so the cavalry wouldn't come in there. There is a risk here that I realize if enemy cavalry would charge and they would get enough men in to trigger the bomb, just blow up my own men there. Let's see, how's my cavalry doing? Not too well. Right. Push a bit harder and you get out of there. Right now you're not really being able to fire on anything, so move forward. And then the elites need to move forward. And I'm gonna set the cavalry on a trajectory to march through here. Very few enemy cannons are operational at this point. And their army is falling apart. I mean, I would say that I already knew that this army wasn't gonna make a lot of resistance just because it's almost all it was so much cavalry. But I didn't know it was gonna go this bad for them. I mean, the fact that they kind of decided to all deploy in the center there, that was a pretty odd choice. Got a cavalry charge coming in. Dragoons. Oh no, they're not actually charging. I'm surprised you haven't destroyed them yet. Oh, I think the army just gave up there. The army, everyone just surrendered right there. It's one unit that holds on. Not super surprised. It's a 1-star general, mostly cavalry, old style units, out artilleried by me. I guess the big surprise here is that I still took quite a few casualties in all of this. Here's the result of the battle. We deployed similar troops. The enemy deployed about 300 men more. We lost 700 men compared to the enemy, which lost more or less everything, 2,725 out of 2,980, leaving 255. Highest killer on our side is the siege gun, followed by infantry, followed by field gun, followed by the guard infantry, and so on. One unit that I noticed that took a lot of casualties was the Finnish Jaegers, which I kind of missed. I mean, there's a lot of units here that took a lot of casualty. Oh, there I should go through casualties. So we can see that... where are they? Losses, guard infantry... I thought they looked like they had taken quite a lot. But they weren't actually ending up... Oh, Finnish Jaegers just... Oh, that's just 100 in a unit. I thought there were 150. Then it only took 8 casualties. Then it's not that surprising. I thought they started off with 150 men in each unit, for some reason. They obviously start about 100. Parts of the army remain. We get really good replenishment, so I might be able to just quickly continue on right off this, which would be really good. At the same time, this guy should quickly be able to, I mean, even out-assault this one and then go on to take the town. With that, let's go ahead and end turn. Once again, we get a diplomatic message from the Ottomans. They want us to join the war against Romania. They offer us 1,000 in payment, and then they want to join. They will join the war against the United States and Portugal. Currently, I'm not really focused on that side, and I want to keep my army in. I want to keep my army round Constantinople, and I don't want to march it off to Romania just in case the Greeks would come in and crash the campaign once more. As I thought, the British lay siege and don't actually try to take the town, and we will have then time to have Bulov move up behind and attack them. Lots of units being recruited. Units in Belgium for the Prince of Prussia. We've got the flamethrowers in East Prussia. And we have a load of these Marines from Provence. Gonna get... I don't know if I even need more, because we're gonna have to fit some cannons into that army as well, aren't we? As it is, machine guns aren't that good. Those should actually be replaced for this army. What should I replace? We can only really get cannons here. Maybe some railguns could be good. Okay, we've got another reconnaissance plane. That's good. Going to Italy. I probably need more in Russia. Russia is a lot larger territory. We've got tons of railroad being finished. Trained gained experience for a minister. That's good. City besieged. So for now, Venice is just fine, and we're slowly recuperating our losses. We should be able to move against the Italians pretty soon, but we'll start with the move through here. I have actually moved a plane over to this area, where I noticed there was a Russian army stationed here. They've actually moved on the offensive now against the Austro-Hungarians. I wonder what they have in what they're planning down here. At the same time, up here the Russians fell back, so up here you should be marching on those. The cavalry should be joining you, and the flamethrower should be on that way. Actually, I should detach the cavalry. They might not actually be needed in the battle. It might just be as well that they start marching to push out the navy over there. Flamethrower go in there, and I mean it's sufficient enough. And yeah, there's nothing really there that can stop us. Now these guys are marching. They're gonna be within, if they march in full speed right toward Vilnius, they will be able to reinforce the area in time for the battle. But other than that, there's no real sign of problem, and there's no army coming from the north, so it's only that they've started to recruit something over here. So not too bad, not too bad. We've got we got another aircraft. Was that the aircraft that I sent earlier? So we got another aircraft going into Russia. We got lots of aircrafts coming in. And then, is there any else you should be moved into Paris? So troops, I have set up, so he's gonna get quite a bit of heavy artillery. Someone wanted me to get an army entirely made of artillery. I might do like a custom map battle showcasing that. And then like going into the preference file and making the units larger, and I'll have like a huge army march against me while I'll completely annihilate them with as many artillery pieces as I can find. With that, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and end turn once more to actually get into a battle. Interesting. Interesting indeed. The Russians actually attack out from Latvia. Vladimir Antonov Ovosenko decides to attack. But he's only got mortars and a half-back built stack. And it's kind of god awful. Huh. This should be an easy victory. And then we'll be able to take Latvia in no time. And so the battle is off. The enemy is actually advancing on my position, which soon enough isn't going to go too well for him. There we go. The first bomb, second bomb right after, destroying his right flank. I mean, he didn't have much of an army to begin with, but now the flank is destroyed. I've set the pioneers to retreat to this house, and they are currently destroying the enemy. I am at this point going to relocate the artillery fire onto the infantry instead, and they're slowly gonna be absolutely destroyed to the very last man. Let's make sure that we don't lose the general. Let's move in behind cover. Right. The infantry firing on the enemy, and here comes the artillery bombardment. The Russians make a brave stand, but there's barely anyone there. I don't know why he decided to push out of town and attack us. It seems rather foolish, given the strength of our army compared to his. go ahead and end this for as soon as possible. It'll make it so much easier for me to actually capture the town. It's all focusing on one unit. My cavalry is attacking over here. Most of the infantry is defeated, with a single unit remaining. Trying its best to keep up the assault, but is there really any point? Gonna send in this reinforcement unit as well to start attacking up here. I'm surprised that we haven't completely destroyed this guy. The artillery bombardment have been lacking quite a bit. Let's focus then on the troops back here instead. Also, they're very tough, the Russians, aren't they? There's only 17 left. And they hold on. I'm gonna tell my troops at this point to hold fire, as I don't want them to shoot my own cavalry unit. 11 men remaining. I think some of the artillery might be coming a bit too close. The old-style guns have a tendency to fire in a very spread-out area. And there we go, now it's only the general left. And within 6 minutes, the Russians and their... Ooh, we're gonna shoot ourselves in the back there. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but still pretty darn bad. And there we have it. Victory. Oh, the ghost mortars are running away. Bye-bye. Oh, this... Yeah, it's one guy somewhere controlling them with his mind. Oh, there he is. I was hoping no one noticed him. Oh, I'm not Russian. I'm just rushing. And there we have it. Victory. Here's the result of that battle. Not surprisingly that we won. They had 1,300 men, roughly. We're only 10 remaining. And I only lost 200 men, of which actually 25% was caused by myself, as the enemy only shot about 161 and lost 200. Assault pioneers were the ones that killed the most. Those bombs were able to detonate and kill almost 500. So that's more, that's like half their army just going up like that within seconds. Just exploding. And that should make it so that I quite easily should be able to take the town. And it'll be the first nation in Russia that we will release. Ooh, now we got a fighter plane. Interesting. So far though, I haven't seen that many of the enemy's planes. But now we've got a fighter. I don't think anyone had really the time to get any aircraft out in the same capacity as I do. I think the only one could be Great Britain. Could possibly get it out. And one thing that I forgot was that I was actually building an extra destroyer here. And my idea was to bring the aircraft on board. Which one is the plane on? Is it on the other? Okay, so it's intending. Okay, we got a reconnaissance plane in Saxony, interrupted gear, Mackeson's and Karl Belov was blocked. But I was able to launch. Damn, the channel is definitely not a place to be lingering. Okay, so I've actually launched my plane then, and I can see a little bit what's going on in Great Britain. Got some cavalry, quite a bit of naval forces. It's going to be the great undertaking to try and break that force. Got some cannons in here. Venetian army should be at full strength now, yes, because all the troops and so on, very nice. But here is not, we got more buildings being built. The thing is, I'm making tons of money. We've got the Arab Revolt. I don't know where, I guess I just was able to, it's part of that initial money, but also the way that I initially was able to attack my enemies by what I did was I kind of I just focused my armies around sort of clusters of cannons to start with, and I just mowed the enemy down in that way, and that I was able to save a lot of money through that. Anyways, enough talking of that. We're gonna go ahead, go here. Latvian riflemen. It's not completely. Outer assault should be within reach, I think. I think that's a bit weird. I'm still gonna outer assault because we've played too much, and I mean this is another one of those smalls. I don't know why it's putting so much heavily in favor of them. Losing a surprisingly high amount of troops in that outer assault. 800 men. That's almost half the army. Or actually, yeah, well, a third of the army is lost to what essentially was infantry. Mostly infantry. This, yes. So I can now release Latvia as its own unit. I get infantry, the 17th infantry, and a flamethrower. We were gonna get we were gonna get the flamethrower for this army anyways. It's almost like they read my mind. Do the that means the Russian Navy is pushed out. And that should mean that, well, I don't need you then, because I just got a flamethrower over here. We're gonna get rid of the machine gun. We're gonna replace it with the flamethrower. I don't know what to do with you. I don't really need you. I can have 4 of them, but I don't need that, so I'm gonna delete that. Pretty poor replenishment. We're gonna make sure. So, kind of interesting here. We just fought the Latvian riflemen, and there's still Latvian riflemen in the Russian army service. But there we go. We've set up Latvia. We're gonna start up with trading with them. They're our first little vassal. Did they ask me for money as well? Cheeky bastards. So first protectorate. Very nice. We're gonna end it here though. So, with that said, I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.